Comrade, the front squat. Much easier on your wrists than the barbell front squat, and it's a lot harder than it looks. Observe. Start by finding your squatting stance. Sit on your haunches and keep moving around until you find a very comfortable, solid position where your knees track your feet, which means they do not bow in, where your heels are solidly planted on the floor, they don't come up, where your feet don't come off the floor this way either. You should feel nice, solid, comfortable, strong. If you can't find a position like this, work on your flexibility before trying the front squat. Unlike the kettlebell clean and press, where your shoulders are tight, they provide a nice shelf right here for the kettlebells. In the front squat, you must bring your shoulder blades together. See, like this, elbows are close. There's not too much tension in the shoulder girdle. Most of the tension is in the stomach. So this would be the wrong way, like this, and this would be the right way. The elbows come close together, really close together. The shoulders shrink, the energy stays in the waist. Observe. See, you set your position, get your blades together, get your elbows close, squat. More on the upper body alignment, comrades. When you're right here, make sure the bells rest really nice and comfortable in your elbows right here. They shouldn't be up here. And when you get down, when you squat down, make sure your elbows do not touch your knees. Observe. This is the position. Inhale, tighten up. Enjoy. Comrade, do not yield passively to the weight on the way down. You must literally pull yourself down actively, like you're working against the resistance of a rubber band or something like that. Use these muscles, the hip flexors. Contract and pull, literally pull yourself into the hole, just like this. Do not just come down and collapse. Pull yourself down. Here's how you can learn the hip flexor action with the help of your training partner. You lie on your back, you have your partner grab your ankles, and then you pull your knees. He gives you just a little resistance towards your chest. You try to feel these muscles right here. Let him bring it back. Now let's try this one more time. This time, arch your back, open your chest. Right here, this comes off the ground. And try to pull using these muscles right here. Keep your hands right here so you feel these muscles pulling all the way through here. Once you got that feeling, you're ready to front squat. When you're going down, you need to imagine that you're pulling your hips out of the sockets. It's a pretty subtle thing, but it makes a big difference in your flexibility and in your strength. I'm going to exaggerate the stance a little bit. It's as if this part pulls away from here. You see, as you're going down, this is pulling away. This is pulling away. This is elongating right through here. Observe what it looks like with the kettlebells. Here's how to understand the pulling the hip out of the socket action with the help of your training partner. You lie on your back, you straighten out your leg, you open up your hips within reason, and then your partner pulls your leg like he's trying to elongate it. You see, he's elongating my leg, pulling the hip out of the socket. You should have really nice open feeling in the hip when it happens. When you got that, then let's try to do this with a bent knee. So you bend your leg, he grabs it under the knee, and you see, this is what he's pulling out. Just look when you're squatting. He's pulling out, this is opening up. This is opening up. Excellent. Thank you, John. And then what you do, you see, you try to arch your back, you try to open them up, you try to pull your hips out of the socket, you try to pull them out. That's what you do when you squat. That pulling the hips out of the socket action offers you an excellent flexibility drill. Take a couple of lighter kettlebells, take a wider stance, and observe. Take a wider stance. Once again, remember that your knees are tracking properly, and get down while trying to pull your hips out of the socket. And on the bottom, release a little. Get up all the way. As you're coming down, the hips are coming out, out, out. Release a little. But don't release so much that you crash, obviously. Come down, pull him out of the sockets, just like this. That is going to make you flexible. Comrade, in case you're wondering, if the front squat is over, you've got another thing coming. There's a lot of fine points to this drill. If you're getting overwhelmed, well, too bad for you. You got to do this right. Paying attention details. That's what delivers power, and that's what protects your body. This time, in addition to everything you learned, which is racking the kettlebell properly right here in these triangles on the elbows, flaring the shoulder blades, getting the proper stance where the knees are tracking, etc., pulling with the hip flexors, pulling the hips out of the sockets, let's figure out the proper breathing. What's the proper breathing? As you're on the top, you're going to inhale into your belly, abdominal breath. It's not going to be easy because you'll compress here. But if it was easy, everybody would be doing this. Then, before going down, tighten up your thighs. How do you tighten them up? Pull up your kneecaps so your quad contracts. So, like you're pulling up your kneecaps. At the same time, contract your groin muscles. It's like you're taking this muscle and you're reeling it up into the groin. Same thing on the side, and the same thing, tucking your cheeks. So all this, you see, tucks in powerfully. At the same time, pull up your butt. Now, do that, take a breath into your stomach, get down. Once you're down on the bottom, pressurize, just a little grunt to get up. Don't bounce on the bottom. Pause for a second. That makes it harder. That makes it safer. And press with the entire foot. Not with the toes, not with the heels, but with the entire foot. Well, if you can remember all this, do it. Comrade, make sure you do not relax on the bottom. Stay tight, completely tight, as if somebody's gonna punch you. Something that can be arranged. Also, note that you can grunt, pressurized, not necessarily in the very bottom. You can do it a little bit higher up through the sticking point. So you inhale, take a breath, go down all the way, stay tight, hold your breath. Come up a little bit halfway, and then enjoy.